Boom. Boom.
Boom. Chen says, first time I enter a tournament. I hope it goes well. Yeah, me too, man. I hope you do well. It's good to have you
walk away
on.
with the beach.
Could walk away with a
That'd be
beach, dude. A
crazy.
glizzy beach. It's gonna be insane.
The Glizzy Beach is crazy beach.
Yeah, man. We're gonna be talking about it for sure. We're just gonna chill out for a little bit, do a little quick intro, maybe 10 more minutes or so. Wait for everybody to hop in before we officially kick it off. But we are taking questions from chat. That's how it's gonna go. So we're
That's our theme today.
you know, that is the theme today.
Let's watch Chill right there.
Pretty excited. Pretty excited.
So I have you on this monitor. I have... It's hard with all these monitors, peeps. I'm in a monitor forest.
It's alright. We'll get there. We'll get there. I just got two. But I only have one PC, so that's kind of why. Mew Squad, I hope I do good tonight, but I don't know what deck to play. Well, yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like
The metagame's tough right now. That's facts.
yeah, it's kind of busted open. It's weird because we only have like a month of Shining Fates, right? So like Battle Styles is coming like next week almost. So it's like we didn't really have much time to kind of figure things out with Shining Fates here. I do think that E-Turn is insane. I think that ADP is pretty good, but it's not. It hasn't gotten the recognition that I thought it would, at least in this past few weeks. Luke Battle is on the rise. I think Senti's still good. I think that Peak's a little bit. Peak's still winning a lot. I don't think it's as good as it was.
No,
personally,
it gets. I feel like Peak gets bopped by a lot of good stuff. Fixed Chill TCG audio on OBS. Yeah, there's something going crazy with my audio.
I don't know.
I have two inputs for his audio.
Yeah, you should. I mean, you should just have audio input and then audio output, which is your.
Yeah, I have sound output and I have my audio
like desktop
input.
audio. So like a desktop audio. Yeah, turn that down. Turn that off.
Wait,
that'll
what?
be the same thing technically. Like you
No,
have like.
I do not.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Luke Metal has been killing E-Turn lately. I mean, Luke Metal always kind of kills E-Turn, realistically. Like, it has a really good E-Turn matchup. The thing is, like, with Shining Fates coming out and Rusted Sword, I thought that Luke Metal would see less play. But it's actually not, for some reason. It's actually just doing even better than it was before, which is interesting. Which kind of makes me feel like the new ADP with Rusted Sword and Turbozation aren't really doing much either, so... I think that's probably the reason.
I really don't. Luke Metal has been killing E-Turn.
Did I fix it, I think?
Yeah, I mean, Luke Metal always kind of kills E-Turn. Realistically.
No, we can hear it.
No, I'm checking on mine to see if that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it's fixed, it's fixed. Hopefully it's fixed. Perfect. I don't know why. Literally, I just have Yeti Blue. That's the only thing that it's coming through. So I guess you sound good. Whatever, sure.
Fine. I'm cool with it. Mew Squad says Luke Metal with capes is busted. Okay. I mean, it is capes actually better than
than
goggles?
No, you need to play both because Rusted Sword changed everything.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So it allows you to survive by like one.
Can we change decks for the tournament if we wanted to? Yeah, you have till 6, so you can resubmit your deck list. You can change your deck list. Everything closes at 6 when we start the tournament. So, you know, that's like you can do whatever. Like honestly, until 6, you can unregister, you can uncheck in, you can resubmit your deck list. Chen says, I'm waiting for LDF like it's decks and videos. Man. LDF, man, he was awesome, man. He's not on this week, unfortunately. We probably might have him on definitely pretty soon here. He's definitely one of our favorite guests that we can have. Everyone loves LDF. He's a great dude.
Yeah, like an honorary member.
Yeah, exactly. We have, well, let's look. We have 285 people already registered.
Y'all should register right now. I literally was telling Michelle, I was like, did you register for Chill TCG? She's like, no, I'm watching Grey's Anatomy. And I'm like, we need everyone. Dominate.
Busted Grays. Yeah, man, it's, you know, I mean, it's going to be a good one tonight. Of course, we'll talk about it later in the podcast, but it's a super special one. If you've ever played in the Chill series or if you've never played in one, this is the time to hop in. This is definitely going to be one of our most solid events of all time. You should have me on the podcast one day, says Mew Squad. All right.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Well, hit us up in our DMs. We don't know about everyone. Maybe you don't like our podcast.
Yeah, slide in the DMs.
We measure guests. Y'all should retweet this ish. Retweet it.
Yeah.
Like
Everybody
it.
go retweet. Chill underscore TCG at chill underscore TCG.
Like if you ain't retweeting, you might not make it on the podcast. I'll put it like that.
Yeah,
Maddie and I are like dirty Pokemon cops. Gotta bribe us.
He's not even a chill TCG channel member, bro.
What? Even Maddie somehow suckered me into becoming a channel member.
We had a busted giveaway. That's why.
Yeah, I think. Yo, I'm looking at some comments here. Sorry, I've been too busy checking out what's going on with this and the sound and all that stuff. Okay, so Durani3, yo, what's good? Everything's going well. I am enjoying these oranges. Oranges are good for your health. They're a little acidic, and that's okay. That's how it's gonna go. Dan, I absolutely blew up your Twitter DMs. My apologies. Blow it up anytime. That's completely cool.
Blow it up.
Yeah, blow it up. Kaboom. Janks X, what's up, homies? Nothing much.
What's up, homie? What's up, homie G? Xenon says, why is Tropical Beach so special? We'll get into that a little bit later. We'll definitely get into the details of the beach for sure.
We'll give you a little bit of a precursor, Xenon. If you want to try to trade for one right now.
For sure.
Hop on the PTCGO trades.
Check.
That orange went right there. Oh my god.
Chen says, like I said, it's my first tournament. How do I know who's my opponent and how to play with them? So on Limitless, every round there'll be a pairings tab. We'll announce it in our Discord. So when pairings go out, you just click pairings, you find your pairing. There's an easy way to do it. Like there's a dashboard on Limitless in the top right. You can click that. It'll just direct you to all of the stuff that you need. But every round you'll get paired up against somebody. It'll show you who that is. You just click on your match and you'll be able to check into the match. You'll be able to copy their PTCGO username. And then to play your match, all you really need to do is add them as a friend on PTCGO, then send them the battle request, or they'll send you one, and then you guys just play. And then the winner or whoever should report the game result on Limitless. It's all done on Limitless. So I do actually have a video that explains everything. It's if you wanted to watch through that video, it's a little bit long-winded, but it does explain everything that you need to know.
Really good video.
If you're interested. Yeah. I'm thinking of trying out my Pikarom deck for this tournament. I think that's
Pikarom's a good deck. I like that one.
Yeah, it's a very good deck, man. It's very, very good. Very, very good.
Okay. I'm just sending out my tweet link, everyone. Sorry, I'm not trying to text while I'm doing this stuff. Who's gonna get tagged? We're gonna just start tagging the people that I usually regularly tag. The retweet squad.
Kenny God says, someone go to work for me tonight so I can play in the tournament. Okay, thanks. LOL.
Colin sick. I think I hear a cough.
You can COVID, still man. I think you can just call in sick. I don't think anyone's gonna flame you for that.
Janks, you should call in sick too.
Yeah. Is Janks in chat? Is that what you said?
Maybe it's Ganks. I'm really bad at pronouncing anything, so if I ever butcher your name, please tell me.
I'm pretty bad too. We'll give it another minute or two, and then we'll kick it off officially. We'll give the official kickoff.
Yeehaw.
We'll start getting into the topics. Like I said, we're gonna be taking questions from everybody in chat. We're definitely gonna try to incorporate you guys into it as always. We do have some topics that we want to cover. So we'll get into that for sure. I think we'll touch on some Players Cup because of course the top 256 bracket's gonna be starting soon. Tournament tonight. Talk a bit about the Tropical Beach. Talk about some good stuff. Battle styles we can talk about as well. So pretty hype. It's gonna be a hype one tonight. I'm pretty excited.
Lots of good stuff going on. It's right the second time, Gangs. Lol, I'm calling out for the next one. Okay, Gangs, I got you.
Oh man, slowly climbing in viewership. So
I think we can probably we're doing pretty good. Well, you want to know what? I think we give it another 5 minutes just to get people to settle in. I just put out my tweet. We can just vibe out here. Everyone's just kind of vibing out.
Yeah, we're chilling. Chet says, in the top cut, I need to do screen share because I don't know how to do it. Yeah, so for top 32, when we do streaming, when we stream the matches, we'll probably, if it depends because we'll probably only be able to stream one game per round, right? In the earlier rounds. So if you're in top 32 or top 16, you probably won't have to stream, especially if you don't know how to. If you make it to finals or in top 4, then maybe we might need to get you to screen
but
share.
You only need one person to screen share to the two. Right. So I mean, if you don't know how to do it and your opponent does, then your opponent's probably going to do it. But we'll definitely be able to help you out there. I mean, I'm playing in the tournament as well, but I think I'm chill admin staff, something. At least I think Maddie trusts me enough to help out.
Yeah, no, I think. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll have to check.
Whatever.
I can just add you if anything.
Chris, Zach, I do enjoy your YouTube channel a
yeah.
lot. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, shout out Chris. Thank you for commenting my YouTube channel too. That's very good. Very nice of you.
Gangs, you guys are the best. Damn, this is like Christmas.
Let's get it.
Everyone's just like being so nice.
I agree, guys. I agree.
I think Maddie and I are probably the best too.
I think Tropical Beach is the best.
Tropical Beach is you actually. So fun fact, Maddie thinks he's like, "What's the deal about Tropical Beach?"
I don't think it's. I don't. Again, I understand
what's
why it's expensive. I just don't think the price relates to how playable the card is.
Yeah, but you're probably the type of person that's like, the Rolls Royce is expensive. I don't understand what justifies the price because it's just another car.
Well, exactly though. That's how it goes. Like those cars are just overpriced. You're paying for the name, just like
you're like Hop draws cars too, bud. Hop's
you're like
a good
my
card.
Chevy Malibu. My Chevy Malibu works just fine, man. It's I don't know what the difference is.
Is that what you drive, a Chev Malibu?
Oh yeah.
See, I told my brother to buy a Chev Malibu. That was his first car.
Bro, super affordable. Like for what you get for the money, it's like one of the best cars you can get.
Although they're like they drive like what year is yours?
Mine's a 2010.
Okay, that's literally his year too. Yeah, that one's a boat. That one's literally a big ass car. You're like
huge.
You know the SpongeBob thing with like Miss Puff? It's literally that one.
Yeah, it's
that
dude. It's a four door, but it's big. It's like it's kind of high off the ground too. I have a big trunk, bro. It's pretty solid. Chris says I like your channel too. All right, thank you, bro. I was just messing with you. I assume you like my channel if you're watching.
Gabe, how long until Zach passes Maddie in subs? So I've calculated this, and unless Maddie gets a huge rush, I put it at 39 days. Although my numbers are growing. Yesterday I hit 50 new subs, which is ridiculous considering like the amount of subs that I have for my channel. It's not necessarily proportionate, so we can't assume that it's exponential growth. I'd say as long as Maddie doesn't do any crazy push and we stay relatively on track at the same rates, I think Maddie and I will be at very similar numbers within 30 to 40 days. That's what my calculations show. But you want to know what? Like, Maddie had some hot streaks. I've had some hot streaks. We've both had some poor streaks. It just depends. Like, if you're not subbing to both of us by now, just sub to the other one. We both try to we're both putting out the freshest content in the TCG. Of course, you have those content creators like Homeless Carlos Azul, who's having a bit of a rough week. But that's okay. He's honestly a great content creator. I'm just all jokes there and just all good fun. But there's lots of content creators. Maybe Maddie and I will get there in 10 years. Maybe we'll get there in 2 years.
We've been doing this for like 5 months, Zach. Like, you have to realize that everything has been growing really tremendously.
No. But like what I'm saying is like we can't be like Mahone tomorrow. Is what I'm saying.
No, yeah.
You have like the Mahones of the world who are like die-hard Pokemon content creators. Maddie and I are still coming up. We're Small Guy, David and Goliath, Roly-Coly and Torterra. I don't know if that's a I don't even know.
Roly-Coly and Torterra. That's actually hilarious. No,
exactly.
I mean, I think it makes sense. I think you've been doing a good job because like your content is great. You're also one of the best players in the world. So I think when I think now that people have realized you have a channel, like they're definitely susceptible to like wanting.
Well,
to
it also helps that I
and
changed the name. Like no one knew who the Lone Blound was, and as much as like the Blound will live on in some ways, it's one of those things where it doesn't necessarily do anything. No one knows that Eric Smith is behind Rare Candy. They know who Rare Candy is as a brand. However, Mahone does a really good job with Tricky Jim letting people know it's Mahone. But I think that's kind of when you get to superstardom.
Yeah, like I think it kind of benefits. Like I think the name Tricky Jim is so like synonymous at this point. Like I'm not saying the Lone Blonde wasn't, but I think Zach Lesage is definitely a big name. Like if I just made my channel like Maddie Tate TCG, like I don't think people would really be as apt to subscribe because I think like the whole Chill TCG sort of organization that we have is definitely well known. But you're doing good. I mean, you're uploading consistently. You also hit that threshold recently where like when people see that you have a decent amount of subs, like once you hit like 1,000 or like around that
they're
number,
like, oh, this is a real thing, right?
Yeah,
it's like when the restaurant has one review or when the restaurant has 100 reviews. Like my channel was not like great back then. GX Pulls, GX Pulls, you need to share your calculations. I don't know how you got me
11 days. Bro.
11 days.
Maybe if you get 50 subs, if you get 50 subs every day for the next 11 days.
Yeah, if I get 50 subs and Maddie conservatively gets like 10, I will pass him.
I think eventually. Yeah, no, I think eventually, like, my goal is that we both get a bunch of subs. Like,
yeah, literally at this rate, I just want Maddie and I both to see success. Like, Maddie's one of my closest friends in Pokemon. Super happy to have met this dude online through the pandemic, and we both have YouTube channels, and I think we both push each other in different ways, right? Like, we both have our strengths and weaknesses, and I think we both have a lot to offer. And like here, I think we continuously push that dynamic through the podcast as well. Because we both come from such different mindsets and even different countries and different everything. Like, it's one of those things where we're differently alike.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I feel like being subscribed to both of our channels is a benefit because we make such different content. Like, it's based off different stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm looking here at Dan. I've been building some legacy decks, and you can't build some without Beach. I agree. Beach is a necessity for a lot of these decks in the legacy and expanded formats. I mean,
I think legacy stuff.
Also, Dan, hit me up. I trust you with my beaches. I got a playset that I can lend you, and I have the good art of 2011. I like that one a lot.
2011 is busted.
2011. I mean, any beach is crazy. Correct. Omnipoke is talking about growing your channel, the kind of content people want to hear about. I mean. This is like our pre-up to the podcast, Mr. Omnipoke, but talking about Pokemon like royalty out here. Jeez, it's getting late out there. You must have got some couple beers in you by now at the local. Like, seriously, it's like 9 o'clock or something. I think. I appreciate the love. Yeah, I mean, is it 8? Is it a 5-hour to UK?
I don't know. I've never been.
I don't know. I haven't. I forget how time zones work, especially
Kitty God says yes.
Yes. Over.
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
I mean, I guess this is now enough time for us to. What do you say? I think we start off this podcast.
We can kick it off, man. We can kick it off. It's 3:18. We got plenty of people in here. I think we're ready to pop off.
Boom.
All right. Let's do the official intro for the audio version.
Ooh.
All right, Yellhorn podcast number 12. It's a good one this week. We have of course just me and Zach on the podcast. No special guest, but it's definitely going to be a good one. Plenty of really cool stuff is happening in this tonight or in the next few days. Of course, we do have Players Cup 2. The top 256 bracket is going to be starting up soon. Wondering which decks to play, which decks are going to be the best. We're going to cover that tonight. Battle Styles is also right around the corner. Zach Lesage and really our whole group of madmen have created some despicable lists of great battle style cards, which we'll talk about those decks in a little bit. And of course, last but not least, Chill Series number 22 is starting tonight. It's gonna be a nice 2-day event. It's gonna be a fantastic prize pool. We have, I think, 200 Vivid Voltage packs in the prize pool. We got a freaking tropical beach being given to first place, so it's gonna be good. And of course, we're taking questions from chat like we have the last few weeks. So definitely excited. What's going on, Zach?
Nothing much. I'm just vibing out here. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like Wednesdays. Like, Wednesdays, woke up, and I made that video. I made that Battle Styles video, so y'all should check that out after this. That'd be kind of broken. Beyond that, I mean, we're doing our podcast. It's like every single Wednesday. You got the Yellhorn podcast live on YouTube. And we have the Yellhorn, not the Yellhorn, we have the Chill TCG at 6 p.m. So that's going to be hot. I'm excited I'm going to try my chance to win a beach. Dude, because beach is hot.
As far as any of these online events have gone, especially like just the independent TOs, like this is like one of the craziest sort of prizes that you could possibly have ever won in these online events. I'm not saying like winning $500 off GG Tour is not huge. Like, shout out to GG Tour, but you know, this is a free entry event, and you can win a tropical beach. It's absolutely insane. We have almost 300 people registered right now. We got about 3 hours until the tournament starts. It's going to be a good one. We're cutting to a top 32 bracket, which will be live streamed tomorrow night on the channel, which we will break it down and you know, whittle it down to our winner, which will be exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting. Is this the first kind of advertised 2-day events for Chill?
Yeah, we've never done it like 2 days in a row. At least like yeah, because I remember there was one event which was like a big one, but
I think that was the
this
GG
was
Tour,
before.
like or that was the one that you did where you donated 300, I think,
Yeah.
into the prize pool. But that one wasn't necessarily like that was like everyone just got tired on you.
Yeah.
And like I'm gonna like I talked to Maddie about this stuff. He's like, Zach, what do I do? Everyone's getting tired. And my thing, I'm just going to I'm like, y'all should just like lose. In my opinion, you go to the end. I've played tournaments with splitting migraines, and it is what it is.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things like if it's like I think it was like a top 4 or something, and everybody in top 4 was like, yeah, let's just play tomorrow, and I was like, that's fine. But it wasn't obviously planned, and that was before we changed our tournament system to a phase 2, reduced the match timer, so things go a lot quicker now. But with an event like this, like we definitely wanted to do a bigger top cut, give as many people a chance at winning that beach as possible, and since it's kind of a big event, kind of a big spectacle, we thought live streaming it might be smart. So you guys can tune in and watch all those great best of 3 top 32 matches tomorrow night here on the Chill TCG channel. It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be.
I'm hoping to get up in there, and if I don't get up there, I might be with Maddie commentating. We'll have to see exactly how it goes.
That's right.
So, yeah, no, it should be exciting. So, I mean, I guess, kind of like in order what we're gonna talk about in the podcast. I know Maddie already said it. Let's start off with Tropical Beach. So Tropical Beach is arguably the rarest playable card on PTCGO. I know there's a couple of those cards like the Regirock promo, and any of these like PTCGO clout heads are going to be like, oh, but there's this. What I think it's actually competitively viable and expanded in a lot more decks than anything else, and in the legacy formats. Maddie, I know that you at some point you're like, Beach isn't worth it. Tell me what's up with that.
I mean, personally, like as somebody who's just like a standard guy, like I play standard and that's just how I play. Like a lot of the cards in standard are just OP. I understand like for legacy, it's definitely like a very playable card. It's like almost needed for a lot of decks. And I understand that. But my take on it at that one time when we were discussing it was, paying that much money for a card of that playability, even for a legacy format, obviously, in my opinion, isn't worth the money, even though it is, of course, needed for some decks.
Yeah.
I think that the reason it's so expensive is because it's rare, and you probably would know better, Zach. This is a 2012 Tropical Beach, and there's a 2011 and 2012 version. But it was a Worlds promo, right? Is there like
so basically you got those Worlds, specifically 2011 and 2012. 2011 was in San Diego, California. They took, I think there was about 128 players per division that received a Tropical Beach code. Now each code had I believe it was, you got 2 codes at 4 beaches each. So a lot of people sold the codes to get beaches, and this is before PTCGO even came out. Like there was no PTCGO when these codes were out. They sent them to you retroactively to your email. So there's a lot of people that might have quit in that time. 2012 was in Hawaii. So there was in Waikoloa, there was only I think about 64-ish players per division. So if you got to think about it, the amount of like cards put in circulation is quite low. So for me, I think I was able to get 16 copies of Beach total, and for me being back then, that's 9 years ago. I was like 18-year-old Zach, 19-year-old Zach, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna sell my Beach code. Here's $50. Dang, that's a lot of money to me back then.
Now it's a bit different. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like if I had Beach codes right now, I'd be rolling in some dollar bills, y'all.
That's right.
So that's kind of where I'm at, where it's just like dollar bills. But nowadays, Beach is kind of shot up because the game's grown a lot. It's crazy.
It's old, it's harder to obtain. Yo, shout out to Gabe, Smart TCG there. He's revamped his channel. He's a great guy. Glizzy, man, 99 cents. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Everyone go check out Gabe Smart. He's been making some videos.
Yeah, Gabe just started his new YouTube channel. I mean, he's still in the process of getting it all set up and stuff, and he's going to, like, in the most productive way, you're going to go through some early struggles, Gabe. That's my biggest advice. But those struggles are what's going to bring your channel. I mean, a lot of my early content, like coming up with thumbnails, coming up with things to put in your description, that all comes with time. And I mean, it's better to start now. And I'm really proud and appreciative that you are starting it. It's awesome. Gabe's one of the best players in the game that still needs a chance to shine. And kind of got that opportunity taken away when in real life players went away. In real life went away. So it's online crushing it. Here answering from Dan Quick. Yo, if you're about to jump on a huge sales call, what songs do you throw on to get hyped in the zone? Ooh, this is going to require me to look at my phone. Not necessarily a Pokemon question, but I mean, if you're about to dive into the fire, bro, I got you, Home Slice.
I don't play too many like hype songs, like things like that. I don't like play music to get hype, especially not for sales calls. I'm not too.
I mean, I think you got to get yourself in the zone. Like honestly, like if I would get if my music was played on a speakerphone at any Pokemon event, I'd be instantly banned from this game for life. It's all the rap and all the smut and all the stuff that my grandma made me wash out with soap. I really like a lot of Charlie XCX. I think Charlie XCX is kind of on and popping right now. Not necessarily like in a mood to get for like a sales call. If I were like doing something crazy, I think Travis Scott would be huge. Travis Scott. Let me find a good Travis Scott.
All right. So while you're doing that, Chris says, "How do I change my deck for the tournament?" If you're on Limitless.com, play.limitless, in the top right there'll be the dashboard. I think you just click that, and then you click, I guess, the tournament or your settings or things like that. Ooh. It's somewhere in that menu, and you can resubmit your deck list or edit the list that you've already submitted. So that's the answer to that.
So I'm gonna go with Travis Scott's "Drugs You Should Try." Don't try drugs, everyone. But "Drugs You Should Try" by Travis Scott's off Days Before Rodeo. Hype song, late night drive, turn that bass up to 8, get the subwoofers bumping, flip the car off the cliff, survive, and you're golden. Smart TCG, yo, thank you for the dono, appreciate it, bro.
Busted. He's got that Cold Stones money, man. It's coming in hot.
Scooping the ice cream, scooping the dough into our pockets. It's like kind of like Maddie and I got like a little bit of a side job, eh? I mean, right. Gabe's donating to us. Cold Stone's donating to Gabe.
It's like technically, I work at Cold Stones now. That's pretty much it.
Technically, we are the ice cream squad.
That's right. Anyway, back to Beach. So, Beach is obviously it's rare and it's playable, very playable in that specific legacy format. I think there's just like a hype around it. Like there's no really other card that's technically like Beach a whole lot, which is kind of why it's expensive in that sense, and it's like almost 10 years old at this point, right? So that is important to note. On that same sort of idea, the Tropical Beach that we have in our prize pool tonight is a PTCGO Tropical Beach. It's a 2012 Worlds one, and of course, big shout out to @thefilthygoat on Twitter. He was the guy that's been giving away a lot of stuff from his PTCGO account, packs, beaches, energies, all that good stuff. He was kind enough to think about us and to sort of, consider us.
It's absolutely crazy. Like, it's so generous. But like at the same time, like if you were to think about someone without any personal bias, I don't know who else you would really think of. Of course, like it might come to. I mean, there's people. But you got to look at like where the game has gone. I think it would be fair to say that whereas Ethan and Hegsters were the pioneers of the Pokemon TCG online community really growing in this tournament direction, I think you're really the one who kind of took the reins and ran with it and really brought it full circle. So obviously there's been some speed bumps. And anyone who knows about Ethan on a personal level and everything like that understands that there might be some factors that cause that. But it's one of those things where I think, regardless of anything, you're really the one who's kind of pushed through and had that overall consistent vibe. And I mean, you certainly had an opportunity to kind of showcase your brand. Like, you could watch Ethan everything, and I think Chills did it slightly better. That's my outside perspective.
I mean, it was done differently. I think like right now, because like since like the timing right for him, because like if you were to look at the last few weeks of tournaments and independent tournament series, like Limitless is still sort of like the big, like Limitless runs the entire platform. Like we have
Limitless is crazy as well. That's very true.
We owe a lot to Limitless as just a foundation, and as sort of a company and a platform for us to really do this. I don't really consider them like an independent TO because they literally like. They literally own the website that we're using to run these tournaments, and they're very much a team of smart people over there. But I mean, Hexters, like their tournaments are still great. Like people should still play in them.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think Hexters is great. Shout out to Ethan because he just got that commentating gig from Pokemon,
right?
Which is crazy.
Sweet for players.
He's just like where he might have left off on Hexters and stuff like that. Ethan's going great places, and Maddie and I were literally talking about it before, and we're like, Ethan is such a great personality to have in the game, very community driven, absolutely hilarious, knowledgeable about the game. I don't think they really could have picked up another person. So
Yeah, I think he's a great
huge shout out
caster.
to Ethan.
Yeah, like his live streams and stuff. He has a lot of experience casting. Like I think he's definitely gonna be very good.
Manny,
So
maybe if you start casting the next like 30 chill events or something like that, maybe we'd see you with Ethan up there. That'd be crazy.
I'm not a big caster, man. Like whenever I'm casting tournaments, I end up just going on rants and just talking about stuff that's completely unrelated to the
That's
game.
fair. Everyone's got to do it. You're built different. So Dan's
like
asking.
built different.
So Dan's like, when you see a trade for a beach, it's insane. Like, how many codes is required to pull it off? People are trading like 4 secret rare quick balls. So PTCGO has a limit, I think, of like 99 or 100. I always forget which one it is.
So you have to like
per
liquidate
trade.
it.
So you gotta do cards that are worth more. So it's like converting things into converting things because you can't trade enough codes for what it's worth.
Right.
I'd say conservatively at this time, March 10th, I'd say it's worth anywhere between 500 to 800 Shining Fates codes. I think that's probably,
Which is ridiculous.
And
it's one of those things too.
Yeah.
Where like if you were to put like there's just nobody posting trades for Beach, right? Like if you were to put one on PTCGO for like 600 to 700 packs, like someone's gonna grab that.
Yeah.
Right. Or like 4 or 5 quick balls or whatever. Like people are gonna just hop on that because
let's test the waters with your beach right now. You got one sitting in your account, Maddie. Let's go fishing, bro.
Oh no.
Pokewave, yo, Joseph, what's poppin'? We poppin'. We talking about stuff.
Alex says Ethan didn't expect to blow up. I played in his second event. We barely had enough people for top 4s. Yeah, I mean at the time there was no one doing it, right? It wasn't like the cool thing to do. So they definitely had like the right idea at the beginning. Like they were again like sort of the innovators, and then now everybody has a tournament. And,
yeah, literally everyone and their grandma and their dog and
it's true. I mean, the only problem is most people don't like differentiate themselves, and I think that Hexters does a good job with that, like with their Twitch channel and stuff, streaming their games and everything. But they're very much I mean, I hope that they're around forever because, you know, we kind of owe a lot to them. And
100%.
They're kind of on that value. Yeah. So, but that's how it goes, honestly, though. Like, I don't think our tournament, I don't think Chill Series tournaments ever got traction until we moved to Limitless and then had some good sponsored events and things like that. But I think GG Tour helped a lot as well. Shout out to them. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things you just have to do it differently. You have to like give people a reason to play in your event.
I agree. And whether that's because you're a personality, whether because you're really good at Pokemon, because I even see like Pedro and Azul run events sometimes, or even like Limitless, they're a well-known organization that's been around for a while. They were running everything to track our decks. Like Limitless has a very good name in the Pokemon community.
Yes.
But as you can see, you could quickly grow up. Like Ethan went from running no events to now casting for Pokemon on an official level. Maddie went from nothing to now running the largest weekly standard events on Limitless. And it's one of those things where Maddie, what he did different is he's running the YouTube channel, making it more of a community-given effort, whereas Ethan was going more for the Twitch streaming kind of role. But you got to think, like, if you're just running a tournament and you're dropping 2 packs and you're just choosing a different day of the week, that's not enough. I'll let you know, like, right now, that's literally being a Hegster clone, and you're going to be worse than Hegster.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing is, like, and for a while, I mean, that's how it is, right? Like, that's how we started. Like, it's not like we did anything different at the beginning, right? Well, other than maybe the YouTube stuff, but
it's still like it's just these sizable upgrades, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Alex, Ethan handled it really well. Yeah, and the people at the top helped push them to the top. Yeah, I mean, Hexter had the original team of like really great people, and right now that community's just grown to expand to a lot of different tournaments. Like a lot of the people that help with Chill TCG help with Hexters. Like there's really like a group of like 15 people or so, or 20 people that really have their hands on all of the tournaments almost, which is, you know, a big part of it.
I mean, you have the best of the best, right? Like it's all inspired and everyone's just like, I think at the end of the day, the community coming together to try to run events, like, because like the thing that I find surprising, and I'll actually call out the regional organizers, where have they been, right? Like we're talking about people who have storefronts and are multimillionaires, and I mean they might be busy running their stores and dealing with their own pandemics,
right?
But if you're running tournaments on a monthly basis across the world, why, like, I just think that they could have done a little bit something, especially considering that they had their own traction. So if you look at any of the big regional organizers, there's only like 4, maybe 5 or 6 in North America. But like globally, there's not that many regionals. I think it would have been really cool to see them work with Pokemon, especially since they have that contract, that connection, to really work and create something for our community. Because as a competitive player, I'm not getting bored by the Players Cup and Team Challenge. Without like calling it the Team Challenge, I think it's an utter failure, the first one. I think anyone involved in that team should be disappointed. It's cool that they started it, but there's definitely some grounds where the tournament's supposed to start in 10 days and I have no clue what's going on. I have no clue what the prize structure is. And I'm playing in my tournament and I have no announcement. So like for me, I feel like I'm left in the dark and maybe I just don't know where to search, but I don't think it should be that hard. The Players Cup I think is actually cool, but dropping the ball on allowing juniors and seniors to go in, whoever screwed up on that coding probably should get talked to on Monday.
I think they probably already did.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. I mean, that's my thing too, is like I know Pokemon, of course, like they run their own official stuff, so I don't expect them to get involved with any of these sort of independent organizers and these other events. But you know, I think that like with incorporating Ethan into like the Players Cup as a commentator, and you know, some stuff that I might be working with them in the future, like I feel like they're just going to benefit going all in, right, and really just sort of adopting these independent organizers and tournaments and giving them a platform to really do their best. I think that's honestly, in my opinion, probably the best thing that could happen. But yeah, I'm curious where like the actual regional organizers are and things like that, which I don't know.
Because you got to think,
You
like
know,
they have events where they have the email addresses of thousands of participants, and they have like their own store customers that might not necessarily travel to every single event. So it's one of those things where I think that maybe in the future we'll see some kind of hand-in-hand action. I'd really like to see some of the Yeti group or some of Patricia's group or anything like that reach out to Maddie and be like, how can we run things? Ralph that tried running online with Full Grip. Yeah, I mean, Full Grip, like, not to say Full Grip isn't well known. Full Grip, I don't know about their financials. I would assume that it would cost a lot of money to be prepared for a regional circuit, especially when you're putting down deposits for like stadiums and like stuff like this. Like when you're holding like Comic-Cons, like people have bank accounts that are way bigger than mine and they're trying to drop some checks. So I just think that Full Grips to me, I think is more of a standalone smaller store, but especially with Andrew Mahone backing it and everything that they've been doing well, maybe they can run regionals in the future. I'm honestly not certain of that, but they're doing good. I mean, I appreciate them running something weekly. It's a weird structure. I'm not sure if I like the League Challenge no top cut structure personally. Same way that I don't like a lot of other structures. I really like Maddie's structure that he has with the 5-3 advance phase 2 top 8s. I think it's really rewarding for players for all players actually. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think it's that bad either. Because I mean, I think Full Grip does like they pay, right? You pay to enter, and it's you know, it's very much sort of like a cult following, right? So it's I mean, I think it's smart. Like if you get like 50, 60 people in your tournament, like, you know, like maybe you don't cut to like a top 4 or top 8. Like I'm not saying that's necessary, but I don't know. You know what I mean? I think Full Grip is definitely a good example of somebody who does that, but. Even if it was just like free to enter, the problem is, right, you need somebody who's really just community driven to give their time. Like it's not like you're getting paid to run these free tournaments and take your entire Wednesday night.
I mean, I think there's a world though where like maybe you could be, right, like where there's a GG Tour event, and not to say that GG Tour could use some competition. I think competition makes it better for everyone in every kind of business. So maybe if there was another GG Tour, I know that Hyperlux, I mean, was at some point, I remember when I was working with Hyperlux, but unfortunately things have to end with some places as well. Or maybe they could come back. I'm not entirely sure. But I think that maybe some regional organizers could definitely come up with some stuff. I am literally reading my chat right now. Yoshi, deck list for Team Challenge needs to be submitted on Thursday. What? That's what I'm saying. What? I'm like baffled. Stortio received email with details. It's a shit show. IMO. Damn. Like, how am I supposed to, like... What? I don't even know when my Team Challenge is. This is there's no way it has to be submitted on Thursday, aka like tomorrow.
Right.
Like,
I mean, that would be wild. If
that'd be wild. I don't even know what the event is. I might just bow out respectfully. I don't understand. I'm so confused.
Sorry. We can get that figured out a little bit later, but that is interesting for sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Speaking of competition, we have Battle Styles coming out soon.
Ooh.
I think Battle Styles is hot. I'm super excited for Battle Styles, man. Personally, I'm excited for Battle Styles.
I think it's the most exciting set in a long time.
I think Darkness Ablaze was very exciting, but yeah, I think it's about on that level with a bit more uniqueness to it. In a sense.
Yeah, I mean, I like that it has. It feels like it's the first new mechanic in a while that seems new.
Right.
Because like VMAX is kind of like, I mean, I guess VMAX has been out for a while now. It's over a year. I don't know. It's crazy.
VMAXs were pretty hype, like when they were coming out. Like I liked the V and VMAX system better than like the GX and tag team system personally.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Zach, what's your favorite like card or I guess archetype that's gonna be coming from Battle Styles?
I gotta go strong with the single strike Urshifu VMAX. That one to
Okay.
me is so hype.
All right, I think it's a hype deck. I think it's good. I think really like both the Urshifus are gonna be very high level decks. Is it my favorite necessarily? No, because it's a very straightforward deck, right? It's very much. I think you've compared it to like your
Reshizard. It's like Reshizard and
Reshizard, yeah.
Zacian V combined. Like,
Right.
like it's combined. If Reshizard and Zacian V had a baby and it turned out to be like, what even is an Urshifu? Is it like a monkey?
Yeah. Well, I think it's like no, it's
Demon?
like a bear. It's like a
Is
like
Urshifu a bear? Oh, Cubchoo.
yeah. It's like
Okay, so like a demon bear with horns.
kind of. I think it's like sort of a Japanese animal that we might not know exactly about, but I think it's some sort of bear type creature.
Okay.
I think both the Urshifus are good. Personally, my favorite out of the two is the Rapid Strike one, just because I do like damage spread. I like cards that you switch in and out. It's very like Orbital-esque to me, which I like. It's kind of like a cross.
120, 120 is the same as going 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Well, it's honestly like Orbital and Colossal combined into a deck, and that's Urshifu.
Urshifu is Kung Fu Panda, basically. See, like, these are things, like, I'm really bad at Pokemon stuff. Like, I just do what the cards tell me to do. Like, it could be, like, fan of waves, or it could be whatever. You could call it whatever. It doesn't matter. It is what it is.
New Squad says Phoebe's going to be amazing. Do you think Phoebe's going to be, like...
I think it's good for people. I think it's one of those cards where, like... Michelle was very excited when we pulled a full art Phoebe, by the way, out of our
it's a great card.
Which is like it's one of those cards where like I'm really happy that a store is gonna have it and we're gonna go out on a cute date night after the pandemic and all that stuff. But yeah, Phoebe is one of those cards that I don't know exactly where it fits into decks. I can't find a rhyme or reason to play it right now. Maybe I'm wrong.
Like it's one of those things where it could become very playable, like depending on sort of how the meta shifts. Like we have things like Altaria and Decigoons and things like that, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it ever gets to the point where like people are kind of required to put Phoebe in the deck. But I think Phoebe's cool. I think Cheryl's cool as well.
I think Cheryl's very cool. I think Cheryl's more competitively viable day one.
It's actually very good, and I don't know if people realize this. It's very good in both Urshifus because for the second attack for both Urshifus, you discard all your energy, Zach.
Yeah, I don't think you keep on bringing that up. I don't think it matters. I think you go with whatever the attacks, laser on the Urshifu V, attach an energy, rip 2 energies, you're at 3, and then you force your opponent. You're like, okay, I can hit you for 100, I can hit you for 180, I can hit you for a knockout at 270, or if you damaged me, I can hit you for the outrage scroll. And I think those are really the things where I think it's really you could attack or not. It's your choice. Well, you literally have access to 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks between the Urshifu V and the Urshifu V Max. So figure out exactly what you need to do. I think the deck, you can take at your own pace and kind of play it like chess. The deck looks like it's very like smashing like Eternatus V Max. I don't think so. I think it's a lot more of meticulously planning a win con.
Yeah, I agree for sure. I mean, I just think it kind of works because like technically if you're in a position where you're not going to get knocked out after you use one of those second attacks, the next turn you can like Phoebe and then like set it up again or set up a new one or do something like that. I just think it somewhat works. I think Cheryl. I meant Cheryl. Cheryl's honestly, it's probably the most playable in Corviknight. Like it works very well with the Bronzong engine and sort of that whole combo. I think that's realistically where it works out a lot. Unfortunately, Cheryl only works for VMAXs, so like
it works for evolution Pokemon.
Oh, does it? Okay, that's actually pretty.
No, to be fair, it only almost works for VMAXs because at what point does it matter if you're healing a stage 2 Pokemon? Like, it's hard enough to get a stage 2 Pokemon out, then try to get some damage counters on it, then drop a Cheryl and remove those energies. I don't think it's happening.
But yeah, I think, and the Corviknight's actually my favorite list. Like that's gonna be my favorite archetype from Shining Fates that's coming, or sorry, from Battle Styles that's coming out. I'm super excited for it. I just think that it's good enough. It has all of the aspects of like a typical metal deck right now in the format. But it's got a cool twist. Like it's different than like the Luke Metal, Zacian, ADP type stuff, where that's typically all we see for metal right now. Now we're gonna see something different. And there's kind of like a new fighter in the party here, a new contender. Will it be as good as like ADP Zacian or just Zacian decks in general? I mean, I don't know. I think Zacian will be played in Corviknight, of course, but I think that it's going to be a good twist on a metal type deck.
Yeah, and I think Bronzong in future, like, I brought it up in the video that I just released, like, I released 5 brand new Battle Styles decks with lists on my channel today. So check that out after this, not during this. Check that out after this.
Yeah.
Because we'll take all the views that you guys want to offer. I mean, Google AdSense and all that good stuff. But basically, it's one of those things where I think Bronzong is also very good, especially if you're a fan of metal-type Pokemon, because kind of how you have these Fire Toolbox-type cards and Welder and all that good stuff, Bronzong is going to allow you with Metal Saucer to kind of power up other metal Pokemon as we continue on in play.
Exactly, and that's the thing too, is like Saucer becomes just sort of like a stepping stone, because if you have Bronzong out, you can just Saucer and then move all of those over. So I think, and even in Zacians, because like with Zacian, a lot of times you would have to run like Air Balloon, right? So you could retreat and hope that you have a switch in hand. But with Bronzong, you don't even need any of that.
Just beam it to the active or beam it wherever you want, really. So it's more and more metal Pokemon. Like I just think it's more and more metal Pokemon getting released every single set. Like you got to think of it from like a year from now, we're gonna have a whole new fresh 4 or 5 sets worth of metal type Pokemon. And I think that's really where it's going to be helpful. Metal type VMAXs. Right. Maybe we'll even see dual types and things are going to be really good. Just to answer a couple questions quickly. So Ganks, with the new card sets coming out, do you think any potential decks that could... Do you think you could see any potential decks that could combat the meta? I think a lot of people said that Dragapult could come back. I'm not sure of that. Maybe Dragapult, like...
I think, dude, honestly, I play Dragapult even right now in the Shining Fates meta, and it actually does a lot of well. Like, it does really well. It's honestly very good in all of those matchups where that you just don't really necessarily think a lot of. Like, most single-prize archetypes that you're playing against, maybe excluding Blounds, but Blounds is still not bad. You have a good matchup against. Just the fact that you can put 5 on the bench, you can split damage. You know, you can run, like, the 4 Crushing Hammers, Yell Grunt, Giratina, kind of package, and you can really do a lot. Like personally, I think that Dragapult is still a really good deck. People just don't play it because E-Turn's so heavily played.
Yeah, but now that E-Turn's got encountered a little bit, I think it's fine with Urshifu VMAX and got a couple fighting decks to kind of keep it in check, because Eternatus is not going to clearly just be the best deck. So I think it makes the metagame a little bit more wide open, not so rock, paper, scissory. Well, it's more rock, paper, scissory, but it expands it where other decks can probably release.
Personally, Personally, I think that like Mew3 Welder will be that big sort of psychic type deck that sees a bit more play, because personally, you can put Big Char on Mewtwo. You're kind of safe from like the Urshifus.
I think Pika.
Kind of.
I think Pika with Mewtwo. Like any deck that runs Mewtwo, other Mewtwo decks, even like a Ditto box deck could probably do a little bit better now too.
Like when you start with Peak though in that matchup.
When you start with Peak in that matchup, you're a little bit scared. That's fine, but I guess that's what Reset stands for. Just to kind of run through some of these questions quick, Luke Metal and Bronzong. Yeah, I think Luke Metal is really good. You can move the energies. It allows kind of layers of play to attach energies and play, stuff like that. I have that in my current Corviknight list. Dan, I think Bronzong says any metal energy. It does. Yep, so you can move anything that counts. So Aurora energy, Coding energy. All that stuff. So if you're playing against a fire type deck, you could kind of push forward, like in Risk the game, when you raid Africa and you're like, okay, I'm going to put 3 metal Coding energies. We're gonna defend, and that's crazy. So that's cool.
You can stack them, and then like if you just somehow like draw kind of poorly, and you have to put 3 metal coating on like a Zacian or a Corviknight, you can just interchange them so that everybody has a coating, which is really good.
Yeah, exactly. But the Aurora does count too, by the way. It does count when it's because it's a metal energy when it's attached.
Which is
not necessarily huge. So at that time, it's a metal energy while attached. Yeah. So it works. It's not all. It's whatever energy you want it to be at that current time.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me with Corviknight is its ability, because it's immune to the your opponent's Pokemon's ability. So like, I think that Giratina is very important. Giratina is like extremely important. I think like when you're playing Senti and things like that. And Senti is kind of that big welder deck that you have to struggle with, or kind of deal with And I think just being immune to that, like the fact that like your Senti matchup really isn't that bad, considering that you'll probably be able to find like one of your 4 coatings. It's just, I don't know. Like I'm very high on Corviknight. What do you think about Victini? Victini VMAX.
I think Victini VMAX is kind of hot. It's like the new kind of Centiskorch vibe. I think it's cool because like the way that I look at it, it's kind of like when you go like turn 1 Reshizard into a Boltons, then you attack something else and really pressure them. I think Victini can kind of chase down and choke out your opponent's bench where you're like, cool, I hit their Zacian V, now I'm going to boss orders, I have 2 prize cards left, there's that Cramorant.
Right.
I just checkmated you in 4 turns. And I think
it's also like immune to hammers too, like almost exclusively. Things like
it has
Senti,
a 4, or it has a 2 energy attach requirement, so it's really slow. It's really quick to build up.
You can just welder it on. You don't even need to attack.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally just like a single turn. So like being immune to hammers is also a big thing. Like hammers never really affected Senti, I don't think too much, but a lot of times like the math didn't work out, right? If you got hit with hammers consistently. So I think that's a big part of it too. Maleficus? AD? I don't know how to say it.
Maleficus?
He says, what time do these tournaments usually end? Tonight it's going to end a little bit earlier because our top cut is not being played tonight. It's being played tomorrow because it's a bigger top cut. So realistically, tonight's going to end around like probably 11:30, 12-ish, I would say.
Well, how many rounds is tonight? It's
8 and 5.
Oh, it's 8 and 5. Okay, I was going to say, if it's just the 8, I'm like, Maddie, I think you're overshooting this a little bit. I forgot that we're doing the phase here as well. So yeah, that's not too bad. So that's Eastern, by the way. So I mean, if you're out from the UK, I mean, grab yourself a Rockstar, grab yourself a Red Bull, and just grind Pokemon all through the nights. It ain't that bad. It's not that bad. It's super fun. It gives you something to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a little bit of a send on a Wednesday night, but for the most part, like you got to realize that the majority of these 300 people registered are not going to be there. Like they're not going to still be kind of qualified to that point to play. Because once we move to phase 2 and then it's like another 2 hours of it, like we're cutting, 2/3 of our tournament right there. So like even if you play and you enjoy it for 4 hours and you get some good competition, the chances of you even making it to tomorrow or that late in the night is a little bit slim. I'm not saying I don't think you will. I'm just
there's
saying.
Only 32 players out of the what?
Right.
We might even hit not to go crazy. We could hit 400 players tonight, and that wouldn't be ridiculous. We could hit 300 players tonight, and that's not ridiculous. Right. So like we're approximately 10% of the fields moving on, and there's a lot of players. I think the beach is going to attract some of the best players in the game. So the competition's going to be fierce. It's going to be a really good test, especially if you're new.
Chris.
What else do we got here? Chris, how many air balloon do you go in ADPization or turbozation? I think about 1 to 2 is probably fine. So
in mine, I do a 2-2 split just because I like synergy like that, but I like, I like things being like consistent. But I think at least 1 is good just to have the pivot, like just to be able to when you find switch, be able to just switch, retreat back to it. I just think like at least 1 air balloon's good. Personally.
Going to the next set, what do I think of the Hit and Run Crobat VMAX? I don't think there's much that changes about the Crobat VMAX. It's weak to fighting. Urshifu VMAX is fighting. So I think they're boss orders away. It's probably...
it's 150. Like, you have 300 HP, bro. Like, that's a one-shot.
Yeah, I'd say that the Crobat VMAX kind of got pulverized before it even got a chance.
Imagine getting one-shotted by an attack that costs 1 energy, and you have 300 damage. Like, that's 300 HP. Like, that's what this format's going to turn into.
Yeah, so I'd say Crobat VMAX is probably... I'd put that deck away. I think the shiny Crobat VMAX promos look kind of hot right now. Look at them while they still look good, because after the summer, they're wearing sweaters. So
they're wearing
sweaters. Victini VMAX so hot right now. Mugado, name that movie. I'm terrible at any kind of thing. I don't know if you're asking me to name a movie, Dan. I don't watch TV. I create movies. I create content.
I create movies.
That probably does not. That probably doesn't sound too great.
I am the movie. No,
Maddie and I make movies together.
What else is it? What else do we have in Battle Style, Zach? I guess Coco. You want to talk about Coco?
I think Tapu Koko, it's definitely lower placed on the list. I think. I think Coco is a little bit. It's a little bit lower placed. But it's cool.
What do you think if E-Power was legal? Do you think Coco, like in a world?
I don't know if Coco is the lightning type Pokemon that I even want to have out. Right.
What about after rotation type?
After rotation, I mean maybe I'd have to look at the metagame. I don't necessarily I get a bunch of people that are like, what if this card comes back? And like, I even know like Celio's like, what if these cards never rotated? And I'm like, I don't have time to be thinking about like these past formats. I'm so like focused on our current standard and like set like semi-future. Like I released a Battle Styles video. The set's coming out in like a week or two.
Chris, I just want to mention, you're talking a little bit about ADP decks, turbozation decks. I know that personally I have both recent videos for turbozation and a new ADP list. So if you want to go check that out after this,
yeah, 100%. Check out Maddie's videos.
I think Zach also has ADP list.
I got both of those coming. I got everything, and I have another ADP list coming out because I know you guys love ADP. Where's Crollo?
Our content's useful. Check it out.
Yeah. Where's Crollo's at?
Where's Crollo at?
I don't know. What's that thing? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Crollo Oh, his last name's Santiago.
Yeah, that's so good.
Where in the world is Crollo Santiago? I think Crollo resides in Connecticut.
Yeah, I believe so.
But we
details.
can't be certain.
Yeah.
Here's his GPS coordinates. Go over.
We actually have a tracking chip and planted in him. So let me just look it up real quick.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think Coco's cool. I think the idea behind Coco is super cool. Like I think Electrode goes perfectly with Coco. I just don't think
it's
that combo.
Definitely a card. Like the way that like the selling point on the Coco is Mismagius decks that go behind on prize cards have done very well in the past to the point where Mismagius got banned because it was just so powerful.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of the same kind of vibe here with the Tapu Koko VMAX and all that stuff where it's like you can go on behind on prize cards, you can accelerate energies, you have the Billowing Fan or Fan of Waves now that it's been translated to English officially.
Yeah.
You got the Crushing Hammers, you got the Reset Stamps, you got the Marnie. I'm not sure. It's one of those things where the 180 might be a little bit weak, but doing paralysis turn after turn, you could be behind a few times. And I mean, just go Electrode. Yeah, it's weak to fighting. That's the part that sucks. Like, we literally just talked about Crobat, like, you know that Urshifu deck? It could run Martial Arts Dojo and Zigzagoons and however else it wants and Vitality Bands. Yeah, and just smoke people. Yeehaw.
Yeah. I agree, man. It's tough. Like Lightning is in a tough spot in general. And it definitely will be for sure after this. I think it's super cool. Like I just think like it's cool. Right? You know, I don't think it'll ever be like high tier or anything. Flapple, I honestly don't even know what Flapple does.
Flapple
I'm gonna build a deck on it.
I think Flapple just sucks right now. It's just not as good as the other ones. Like I literally like grass type decks just don't have what it's going on. Like grass types are just like, you know how people are like born into poverty and shit like that? That's literally Flapple VMAX. Like some people are out here born into like whatever.
Yeah, they're
Flapple VMAX is the single mom of 5 kids, living off food stamps and shit like that. That's Flapple VMAX. Is there anything wrong with Flapple VMAX? No, the card looks cool. I'm sure she's a nice lady. Fun. But whoever decided to design Flapple VMAX made some wrong decisions in their card designing life. Yeah. And I just don't think it was balanced to be the best deck. And I could be wrong. I'd be willing to say that I'm wrong. Maybe she'll make it out the slums, bro. But I don't think so. Statistically, she will not.
Statistically, she will not.
Statistically, she will not.
I don't think anyone can feel as worse as Grimmsnarl VMAX, which came out alongside Eternatus VMAX. I don't know if anyone's even sleeved up that card in their lives.
I tried to make a video with it, and at one point I thought it might be better than Eternatus, and then I realized that the damage caps.
Yeah, I just feel so bad for Grimmsnarl VMAX. And then I think Malamar was the set before. Like those cards got just thrown to the side. They were like, here's E-Turn. This is dark. This is literally the only dark deck anyone's ever going to play now.
As if they made the Grimmsnarl shiny too, just to make him like feel bad about himself. They're like, we know that we literally like shunned you in the closet, kid. I'll give you a shiny version and a promo box version. So we got a couple things here. Kingdra, lol, don't deny your true feelings. I like Kingdra a lot. Kingdra I think is cool. I haven't covered on it yet because I don't necessarily think I have a list. I know Maddie and I spitball about it literally every single night on Discord. We're like, yo, what about Articuno from Team Up in the deck? What about
that is getting busted, though.
And I'm like, we have ideas. I think we're just getting ready for
you gotta test. It's a death you have to test.
Yeah, man. Exactly. You guys think TCG Online will just be as prominent or more prominent than in real life on the world stage? No. Never.
No.
We're literally just playing this like in between pandemic game.
Unless it gets complete, unless games like this in general just get kind of shunned out of reality from the pandemic.
If Pokemon
like,
gets
I don't
an
think
upgrade,
that's gonna happen, but
if Pokemon gets an upgrade, that's one thing that could change it. Like if we went like Hearthstone level of like app.
Oh, it would be yeah, it would be literally insane. My channel would double in size.
I would literally become a millionaire overnight. I'm like, you gotta like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to sound like a shitty human being or anything like that. But if I was literally as good as I was at basketball right now, I wouldn't be having time for a podcast because I'd be like off a yacht, tipsy AF right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, if Pokemon was Magic the Gathering and had Magic the Gathering online, I'd literally be getting paid Wizards as a professional player.
Yeah, like
it's one of those things where it's just
paid.
like,
yeah.
I would be legit playing. I wouldn't have to be like reaching out and doing content and all that stuff. I'd still probably be doing it, but that'd be more of a passive income. So it's just one of those things where Pokemon TCG just doesn't necessarily get the respect on the competitive side right now, and PTCGO is just a subgroup of that, so it even gets less. So unfortunately, no right now.
Yeah, I think competitive is like a subdivision of just Pokemon cards in general, because I feel like the majority of people who buy cards are not going out and building decks and playing with them competitively. So that's just a factor, and like even less of those people are probably playing PTCGO, right? So you just have to kind of keep that in mind. I would like a mobile. Like if they just did like Pokemon trading card game like on the mobile app, dude, it would blow up.
If you could literally just import codes on your phone, oh my god, I'd be happy about that. I would like scan it with my camera. Like I'm rocking an iPhone 12 here. It could recognize the codes. I think we could recognize the codes in Dolby Digital HD.
Unfortunately, I don't feel like Pokemon wants it on mobile because like they just want people to play Pokemon Go.
Well, that's why they don't do it on mobile, because Apple wants part of the code sales. And that's what it's really? Literally like they can't input games. Dan's like, I can't imagine having 340 HP and getting one shot by a basic Pokemon. What up, Galarian Zapdos? Poor Dark type decks in the future.
Turfetch doesn't now, but yeah, Zapdos is insane. I think Zapdos is like the savior that we needed. Joey Davis's Zach is LeBron James. I mean I agree.
I mean, not like
I think
in terms of my
similar vertical leap.
Yeah, in part of my potato-shaped body, definitely feeling it. What do we got? Where's Imposter LDF? Probably in the attic. Any tips for returning Pokemon players? Last played during the launch of Megas and XY. Playing Magic the Gathering, Pika, whatever. I mean, if you're playing Pokemon, I think you play in these events. I think you play in the online events on the Play Limitless platform. I think you tune in to your favorite content creators right now. Everyone's crushing it right now. Like, if you're like, you want to know what? I'm literally here because I hate Maddie and Zach, and I want to, like, just, like, be here to, like, not... I don't know why you'd be here and hate us, but whatever. I'm just saying, like, if you're, like, an Azul stan, or if you're a Mahone stan, or if you're, like, a Flex Daddy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many more content creators, and maybe, like, you're like, Zach's voice is annoying. I love LDF. That's cool. Maybe you're like, LDF looks like a gremlin. I love Maddie. Like, it's one of those things, like, figure out exactly whatever.
I think I have a pretty good voice.
Wait, you can input code cards on Safari? On iPhone? That's crazy.
I mean, wait, really? How do you input? Can you do PTCGO stuff through?
You can go on the Pokemon website. So I think
yeah, I mean that makes sense then. If you can input codes on the website,
that might work.
I don't know. I still don't feel like that's entirely necessary.
Best single strike Urshifu VMAX version. I think just like straight up Houndoom.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else you would probably. I do like. I think they're like. I think the list that you posted is like very, very much. At least like the same 50. I think people should be playing at the least.
Yeah.
At the very least, but you know, I think there's only other like I think Rapid Strike's different because like we discussed this for a while. Like I really think that the best way to play Rapid Strike is maybe not Octillery and just run the scoop up net Jirachi engines because you can.
I think Octillery is trash right now. Octillery has the time to grow. As a release,
like if there's a really good supporter.
Strike. Yeah.
There's a real
We have what Karina's right now. Karina as the Rapid Strike one. And I thought it would be cool because you could search it out, but it's just not as great. Morning Wood. If decks were cities, grass decks would be Detroit. Yikes. I mean,
it would be Concord, New Hampshire. That would be the
yeah. I'd say like maybe like St. Louis, Missouri. Detroit's not bad. Like Detroit has amazing food, and it's kind of like I don't know. I don't have any problems with Detroit. Like Detroit used to get a bad rep, but ever since they like made the new Little Caesars Arena and all that stuff, like Detroit has very good food. Detroit has the casinos. Detroit has a lot of good things, and it's a border city, so it's not as bad.
Exactly.
There's some rough spots, like maybe if you run into some like Eminem's exes or something like that, it's gonna look pretty rough. But
that's the thing. Like every big place like that has sort of like an impoverished sort of part of it. I know Chicago probably has. I think.
Oh yeah, there's definitely parts of any city that are just like the slums, the gross parts.
We're so off topic. I think Detroit. I think once the whole
That's why we're here though. We can say whatever.
Because they used to make like Ford and cars and
everything
like that.
I think the car industry basically screwed them and left them like stranded. They're like, you guys got
went
nothing.
To China. They're like, we're going to China, and you guys can. Yeah, exactly. So, that kind of happens sometimes. Detroit Square Pizza. That's what's up. GX Pole says, I can't see it. I don't know. I don't know what exactly they're talking about. Is there a dark box? But it's played off, and yeah, I don't know. He asked, is E-Turn V the only deck in Dark type deck in Standard? I think it's the only like viable deck. I think
there's like Spiritomb, like random stuff, but like anything is just like you're either playing a budget deck or you're playing Eternatus. In Expanded, like you got Darkrai and all that stuff, but like Dark's a very viable type, and it has been for a while. A lot of types kind of go with some kind of like they have some kind of fundamentals, and Dark's usually like now it's like Poison type as well, but it's either going like Poison type is garbage, and it's always has been garbage. But then pure dark types like Eternatus and stuff are usually like big hard hitting damage, very quick attackers, stuff like that. And Dark's usually a safe horse to bet on.
I was upset that Crobat was weak to fighting, like ground fighting type in the TCG because one, it's a flying type, and two, it's a poison type. So neither of those are weak to ground or fighting.
I know that there's people like. I think, who was it the other day? Kenny Wisdom, I think, got involved in, was it card development or strategy or something like that, working for Pokemon? Kenny, if you watch my podcast, or if anyone here is really close friends with Kenny, why in the absolute fuck are Pokemon that have wings have a retreat cost? Like, if you're flying in the air, homie, you should not have a retreat cost. Like, it's honestly one of those things, like, it pisses me off so much. Like, why do we have wings on a thing that has, like, some of these Pokemon, like, Eternatus should not have a retreat cost. Home Slice is flying in the air. Like, at least maybe one. Like, I just don't get it. Like,
it's
in my mind...
3, I think.
Crobat is literally the fastest Pokemon in Pokemon at some point. In the video games.
It was.
It has a retreat cost.
It's one of the fastest.
Like,
I mean, they gave Corviknight free retreat, but they didn't give, like... And it's funny, because I thought that too with Tapu Koko. Corviknight is a metal burb. It's huge, I know. It's not even that fast in the games. I mean, Tapu Koko, though, because like they have so many Tapu Koko cards with free retreat. Like, that's like the gimmick behind Koko cards. They gave Koko V and VMAX, and they're like... Or VMAX, and they're like Koko V has free retreat, and the VMAX, they're like, let's just give it one.
Yeah,
like,
you evolved and got Dad Bod. Like, you had one too many berries, buddy. Like, I don't even... Tapu Koko... Like, this thing's like a supersonic jet Pokemon. Like, what?
It literally zips through the air. Like,
zips through the air, can float in the air, but it has a retreat cost. Like, yeah.
I don't know. I just thought Koko should have free retreat.
Bro, not all things that fly are like helicopters, right? Like, they got the momentum seeing... I don't know. Maybe that's a fair thing. Momentum. Or, like, Crobat is literally one of the fastest Pokemon in the entire... Like, I understand needing to balance out a card, but don't make Crobat the V then. Make Crobat, like, another thing, right? Like, if they wanted a Pokemon to draw 6 cards or something, like... I don't know what would be an appropriate Pokemon. I don't even know. I'll come up with one.
I think that... I mean, also,
give
like...
Spoopa. Make Spoopa V. Spoopa V.
Spoopa VMAX.
What the Spoopa?
Vivillon. Yo, I mean, I think, what is it? What am I thinking of? Did I just lose it? Did I just lose my thought? I might have.
Yeah, I'm literally just Eternatus Pro Race.
The Urshifu's, like Rapid Strike has a retreat cost of 2, but the Single Strike has a retreat cost of 3.
I mean, that's kind of fair. Maybe you're going like with that heavier punch. Yeah. Maybe you're not as like...
I guess that makes sense.
In some ways, it's fine, but I mean, like, in terms of, like, just pure things, it's always, like, really upset me, and I think it's just one of those things where I think... I don't know. I'm cheesed. I'm heated about it. I'm burning up.
GX Pole says, do you think that Jesse James might be good with Stamp in any decks right now? I think it was good. That Breaks and Zard deck was really good with Jesse James and Stamp and Chip and things like that. I think it could be good in like a Togekiss deck or maybe just something that consistently lets you draw cards.
That's if Togekiss is good though. Like I think.
Well, right. I just don't,
yeah, like in the whole overall thing, sure. There's ways that it could be good, but it's not well positioned. None of those decks are well positioned at this time.
Right. It's just one of those things where like if you're consistently able to, like, we have Marnie we have so many Marnie in the format. We have Stamp is a thing where it's like, even if you're like setup decks where you kind of search your deck for stuff, even things when you're playing Rosa, you just get Marnie like next turn all the time. And it's a little bit disappointing. So I don't think that necessarily like decks that you need to search your, because like realistically with those decks, that's kind of what you do, right? You need to search out those cards. You never really are trying to draw into them, I suppose. But I don't know. I like that Bracen's deck. I thought it was really cool. But
I thought it was really cool too. It definitely got me for the Players
someone
Cup
should bring
too.
it back. Someone just bring it back and play
it has way too, like, the Rusted Sword part really hurts, Maddie.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well,
like
you can run Charm. You can run Charm.
I mean, they could also. Nah, I'm not sure.
You're one-shotting Zacian. I don't know.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure, man. ADP's pretty good, bro.
Yeah, it is.
ADP's pretty good.
We haven't seen the results for ADP that I thought we would since Shining Fates has come out. It's been all E-turn, bro. It's been E-turn and then some Peak and Luke Metal. Like no ADP. It's very confusing to me personally.
So kind of switching things up. What do you guys? Why don't we talk about? We talked about the beach tournament. That's tonight. Talked about.
Go register.
We talked about go register if you haven't already.
Here.
Even if you're not going to play, go register because maybe you'll change your mind after a couple hours. I mean, you could go X3 and still make it in. And still have a chance to make it all the way to get that juicy beach. And if you're like, yo, I don't even know what to do with one beach, I'm pretty sure you could trade it for like 4, 5, 6 quick balls and maybe get up to 800 Shining Fates packs and basically trade for whatever you'd ever want on PTCGO. So I think that's kind of huge. So talking about, before we talk about the Players Cup 3, and check out Maddie's link, by the way, at the Play Limitless website. Did you see the new Spiritomb, which completely trashes on Mad Party? I did. I don't know why a lot of cards have to have an equal and opposite reaction, but maybe they'll change it up and be like, okay, you want to know what? Here's another Mad Party Pokemon released in 2 sets from now.
I don't know why people are upset about that, because I feel like that Spiritomb is actually really good in E-turn, personally. Because you just run
I think it's good in a lot of decks, right? Like it's very similar to Oricorio that we had from Guardians Rising. I played that in my Hitmonchan deck to beat a lot of other decks. So I think a card like that has a lot of uses. So, I mean, I'm excited that they're printing. Don't necessarily look at it as it's versus Mad Party. And yes, sure, they literally slit Mad Party's throats. Like, Mad Party's like dead.
Stoutland's in the set too, though. Isn't that even a worse matchup for Mad Party?
Yeah.
Stoutland, it literally just takes 2
It's crazy.
prizes.
It's such a cool tech card just in general. Like, if you, like, I like when Pokemon gives deck builders the tools if they want to do something. I think that we have not had enough answers to what we wanted. Take it easy, Dan. Thanks for stopping in. I don't think we've had enough answers to what's going on. Like, I don't think E-turns had an answer in format. Colossal's not even a viable answer to E-tornadoes anymore. I don't think it was a viable answer to Pikarom. It's one of those things where we have viable answers to different decks, and if in your particular metagame you want to worry about Mad Party or whatever else it counters, I think it's cool. Same thing with Galarian Zapdos. Galarian Articuno, and all these cards, like, they add certain layers of depths, and I think you could change up your deck however you want.
Zach, what do you think about, like, because we, of course, like Welder box decks and sort of just Welder decks in general at this point are very, very successful. Do you think that, like, we'll see Stoutland see play in Welder type decks, like such as like a Cramorant is?
I don't. Okay, so did I miss something about the Stoutlands?
It does like 40 damage, and then if you KO something, you take an extra prize with it.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think it's tough. I mean, we've seen attacks like this work before with Umbreon. I think it was Umbreon EX back in the day, so we're talking way back. And you think if it attacked a Pokemon, a Mega Pokemon, you could draw an extra prize card and it had a very low damage output. So there's a few of these attacks where low damage output or either high energy attack and a mid damage output.
It's colorless. I think it's like either a 2 or 3
It's
attack
like
cost.
okay. I think it's much better for you to just figure out something else better. I don't know. I could be wrong. I think Stoutland's a little bit on the weak side. It's going to be really hard to get to that point, and you should have just been able to one-shot before. I think if you focused on the one-shot before getting to it, you could have just drawn 2 prize cards the next turn. So technically, I think the Stoutland might be holding you back.
It's one of those things, like, if you're playing Reshi and you can GX for like 300 and then maybe the 40 to finish up a VMAX, take 4 prizes. Like, I can see how it could be useful in some scenarios. I didn't know if it would actually be like worth playing to that extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I thought it was definitely pretty interesting.
I think you got a question here from Xenon. Also, shout out for being a channel member on both of our channels. You crazy out here. We appreciate the love. Bella and Bryson Man got banned before Eternatus VMAX. I think it actually was not to counter Eternatus VMAX, even though it would have been really cool as a counter for that deck, and I don't necessarily think, like, it almost ruined an archetype after a Rangaroo already got rotated. I think it's one of those things where TPCI tries to fall in line with the Pokemon Company in Japan with their current bans, so I think it's very possible for us to see how things might go. Like, it's one of those things where I just don't think there's a correlation between Eternatus and the banning of Bellaba and Bryson Man. I think it's one of those things where Japan banned it, and they're like, okay, cool, Japan banned it, we're gonna ban it. Yeah, even though their format allowed for it.
I think honestly, like, when it comes down to it, they just didn't want that sort of deck archetype, like that play style, to really be at the forefront of the meta,
I mean, that's probably fine. Enough people, maybe they got enough complaints or something about it, and they're like, we're gonna go to R&D or like Card whatever and be like, okay, what could we do? And they're like, here's our suggestion, and maybe they just ran with it. I'm sure there's got to be a process. Like, you probably think that they make baseless decisions. I don't necessarily think they do. I think everything is very slow and planned, going between here and Japan. Do we think any cards are going to get banned before Battle Styles is legal on PTCGO? Not sure.
Some might be after. If something just...
I think we already had our ban update, right? Like, I think we already had our update.
Yeah.
So I think nothing's getting banned. There's nothing currently a force in our game that would determine an immediate ban that I'm concerned with. So I think we're going to have to see after some play online and however they decide to monitor it.
I think we could. I think if they were to ban something, it would be not necessarily for like a power creep reason, but just for overall gameplay experience reason. Like I could see like a Marnie ban or like a Hammer ban or just something like that. I don't think they would, but like I feel like it's pretty easily justifiable, considering just how the game is at the moment. But maybe not. Maybe it just doesn't make any sense for them to do that, and I think that's also totally possible. But Brodog says, do you think Reset Stamp leaves standard forever, or do you think they'll reprint it in a future set? I think it has to get reprinted eventually. Will it be like a whole format rotation away? Like, you don't think they're ever going to reprint Reset Stamp?
No, it's already banned and expanded, so I think any card that's banned... I think it's one of those things where it just presents another issue that they're going to be printing another card. Maybe we'll see another card like it, or maybe something a little that they try to make more balanced. We've seen cards like N, we've seen cards like Marnie, like they like this idea of shuffling stuff back.
Yeah,
but I think that's a better alternative. Don't think Reset Stamp's a very, like, even if we see it, it would have to be a spiritual reprint, because I don't even think Reset Stamp's very important in the VGC, because all of our trainers are based off of what's either in the anime or what's in the whatever. They just don't really make new professors. I mean, they made Professor Willow. We're going to see the Pokemon Go card.
Yeah. Which is actually crazy.
Cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, for anyone out there, do you think Rose variants will see success with the new Cricketune V? I mean, I don't think we saw any engines based off of Orangaroo with Instruct. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that it's like okay.
I think that even if you want to run Rose now, you can. Like, you have Rose Tower, you have Silvally. Like, I think those are options that might not be as good as Cricketune, but they're like almost just as good. And
let's say in a post-rotation world, I think like it's more of those things like, will Cricketune spawn off? Like, that's the way that I read. Maybe I'm wrong. I think
maybe, dude. I think Rillaboom decks are going to be pretty difficult to set up without Rowegg. I just don't think they're going to be played too much. I mean, I think they could. I also think like without Welder, like, I don't know if like you need it for fire decks. Maybe like you run it in like Victini or something wild like that, but I don't know. I don't personally think it's I don't think Rose is good enough. Like, if it was, like if it was 3 energies or just something else.
We'll have to see what VMAXs come out, right? Like, I don't even know when VMAXs end, when they start, if we're gonna get a reprint set. Like, we don't know what VMAXs are coming out until we know what's coming out, and until Rose becomes very good, or like it's just not really whatever.
Alex has a good question.
Alex has a good question. Because of turn 1 attacks being gone, what sort of abilities that end your turn, like Snorlax GX or Snorlaxerization, would you want to see for decks that need setup? Ooh.
I think we have a lot. Like honestly, I think right now we're in a good spot where we have things like Snorlax. We have both the Jirachis. We have Zacian, which you can end your turn going first on. I think all of those are really good. So what was the question actually? Would you want to see?
So basically, like, if we had the opportunity to see a card getting printed,
sure.
What would we want to see? I think I really like Smeargle from Undaunted Call of Legends or Unleashed Call of Legends. I always get between those sets mixed up, and basically it was a card that allowed you to look into your opponent's hand, choose a supporter card you find there, and use that at the effect of this ability. I think things like that are really cool. So kind of like a Sabrina's Suggestion that we currently have, but as an ability. It didn't end your turn, but I could be something like that could be really cool. Also,
Zach,
what's up?
Sorry. Do you think they'll ever go back to something like a Cleffa type starting option, or maybe like Donk decks? Do you think they'll ever have things like that?
Oh, so you're saying like an Eek flip 60 HP Pokemon or 30 HP Pokemon, you're asleep, they can't attack you kind of ish?
Yeah. Do you think that's ever like something that'll sort of come back in the game? I think with boss and stuff like that, I don't know. I feel like it just wouldn't be. I would like a card that's like a Jirachi from Team Up, but it's just switch one card in your hand with one card in your deck, and it's an ability.
Yeah, I mean, more ways. I mean, I think anything, like, I'll leave it to the creators to come up with something unique. I don't necessarily care what's good. I'll play within the limitations.
Yeah, right. We're gonna play with the cards they give us, man. Yeah, I hear that.
Would Galarian Cursola V work in an Eternatus V deck? That's a psychic type Pokemon, right?
Yeah, I don't think Galarian Corsola V. I don't think it can be played in E-turn, but overall, I just don't think it's playable. I think people tried to play it with Arctizolt, and I think it's cool. Like, it's actually like it's pretty fundamentally sound. And it synergizes pretty well.
The rare fossil mechanic really hurts that.
Yeah.
And you really need something more than it. Yeah. Also,
Careless,
what does Zach play in Chill TCG, or is that classified?
No leaks.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm either between ADP Zacian or Sun of Scorch right now. I really want to play Eternatus, but the amount of Luke Metal being played in Hexters and Krollo's events are kind of leading me towards those two decks. But we'll have to see exactly what's going on.
I think we just posted those ADP lists. Like, I think it's about time, Zach, that somebody popped off with ADP with this new version. And
we'll see exactly. I'll give it a try. What else do we got? Marnie's the new reset stamp. I agree. Krollo. Yo, Krollo! People were talking about you earlier. Do I even play tonight? Yeah, you could play tonight. I think you 100%
Or you help me run it.
No, Krollo, play tonight, and if you end up getting the beach, you run a huge tournament and be like, I won Maddie's beach, and then you run another beach tournament. You keep on. It's like a human centipede of beaches.
It just keeps going, and no one ever actually.
Intrepid Sword, but instead of energies on Zacian, stage 2's on your bench.
Bro,
could you imagine? That's a broken.
That actually sounds. Run phones, bro. Run Rotom phones and just fill your bench. That
might be a little bit too broken. It had to,
because think about things like Kingdra would become the best deck in format if it had a setup like that.
There's probably a bunch of stage 2s that we've never looked at. That might be the best deck in format, to be honest.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right. Like Embor, just go full on, just power up Embor in like one turn.
Yeah, that Pokemon might have to be a stage. I'd have to say like a Zacian VMAX or something like that.
Dude, if they print a Zacian VMAX, I am out of here, bro.
Krollo the goat is here. Krollo's literally gaining horns on his head. Krollo's very horny.
Krollo is the goat, man.
All right, time to bust out the Reshazard. Let's go, Krollo. Krollo's one of my favorite people in the community.
You love to see Krollo, man.
You love to see Krollo. Great person.
Xenon says, will Chill TCG organize an expanded tournament? Yes, we do have Chill Series EX, our expanded tournament series. We've moved it for Season 3 instead of doing it once a week on Sundays and having it be separate. What we're doing is we're doing it the last week of every month, and it's actually counting towards Chill Series rankings, and it's part of the official season. So late at the end of March, on the last Sunday of March, we will have Chill Series EX.
Chill Series 6.
Nax says, how many Eternatus do you think will be in top 16 this week? Let's say
5.
Top 32. How many in top 32? I'm saying 9.
I'm saying 12.
12 feels fair. I mean, I think that I think it could be more. Like, it could be way more. We just have to see. I think E-Turn is by far the
all of Matt, like all the Maddie Chill TCG stands.
They're hardcore, bro.
They're playing. Yeah, there's a lot of hardcore Maddie stands. They're playing E-Turns, bro.
Yeah,
like
dude, they're
it's all these players that you never hear about ever, and they just like play E-Turn, and like I feel like they play suboptimally in the nicest way. But it's one of those, I don't even know how to say that. I think they play suboptimally in the nicest way. And then, like, they just, like,
I think they're terrible players, with all due respect.
No, I think that they're, okay, I'll put it like this. I think they're up-and-coming players. They certainly could use some rounding around. They're rough around the edges, but they just run so hot with E-Turn every week.
Yeah.
No matter what,
E-Turn's hot, bro.
they just E-Turn's a hot deck. If you're gonna, you want to what? If you think you're an average or below average player, play E-Turn and see how you go. It's pretty good.
Rick R said, Zach, what about your Rowegg, your Rowlet and Executor deck? I really liked it in the video. Would be competitive enough as a deck. Actually, I mean, Rowegg is a pretty competitive typing right now. It's probably the best grass that we have.
Yeah,
it's
it's probably the best grass if you're not considering Desi Goons, which I think Desi Goons is slightly better.
I think I got either 9th or 10th on the 10 best decks list for the past month. So
I don't think I put it on my top 10 deck list. It probably hovers within the top 15 range. I know that if 76ers out here, he's like, this is the best deck of all time.
He carried
this guy's literally carrying it. He's carrying the whole aggro on the back,
I think it won Hexters, which was a big achievement for Rowegg. Like, I think people were like, oh, like, that deck won a Hexters. I mean, I think that was about 100
it's hard to compare like an event with 95 players to a 300 plus event, so it's really tough. Like, not to take away an accomplishment or anything, but like we got to look at tournament size. I think Chill kind of became the new de facto week.
Well, we had the thing where remember when Togekiss won Limitless?
But to be fair, Togekiss won and expanded, and Togekiss is good and expanded.
It won a standard Limitless event. It was Togekiss Blounce. You don't remember that?
Oh.
It also won expanded.
Was that banned ADP though?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the thing is, banned ADP isn't a real format. I don't agree with that format.
Josh, what's up, Josh? How you doing, my man? I like that little snom next to your name in the green text. You look hot.
Josh doesn't have a snom next to my name or a Pokeball.
Do you have your little badges for your?
I do have badges. Mine's a little Pokeball.
Oh, that's neat.
It's cute.
Snom. People thought it was a cloud because they can't really see it.
I thought it was a cloud too, and I think it's really funny.
It's a little vape cloud, bro.
Actually, no. I won the Zeester LCQ with aggro. I mean, aggro's got some results. I think Howdy Pokemon Professors is one of the more prestigious events. And they recently ran their invitational or charity event or all of it combined. I think that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I actually don't know. Yeah, I for sure. I mean, I think Rowegg's not bad. Like the list that I made was just based off of like the total results, and like we said, 76ers carried Rowegg. Like he got a bunch of top 8s, top 16s in finals and stuff like that.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing with that deck.
Yeah, the thing is, things like Colossal or like a Mad Party, like you typically don't see that. Like the reason why it was on the list is because we have like a great player carrying that deck. I feel like if we had somebody like a Zach Lesage playing Colossal every week.
Maybe, I'm not saying aggro. I think aggro, it's a fair deck. So basically answering the whole question, aggro's solid. I think that it's weirdly placed. It's not terribly placed. It's awkwardly placed in the metagame, which is going to lead to awkward results.
Best grass? You think it's best grass deck?
Within the top 2, it's hard because Decidueye's grass type.
Yeah, okay, well, we're not counting Desi.
If we're not counting Desi, which is like kind of like a single prize card, like own kind of like wall deck, it doesn't matter if Desi was like... Desi could have been whatever type it wanted to be.
Exactly. I don't think the typing mattered at all.
The typing does not matter at all for that one.
Maybe
it's the most purest grass type deck.
Right.
Prolo, do I play Ball Guy Mad Party? Play with your balls, bro. Do you?
Whip them out. Whip out your balls.
Whip out your balls.
Brodog, is that the Luke Metal Legend? Yes, it is. Mike Fleming, is there a future for online tournaments once IRL events come back? I hope so. I get this question all the time, bro. It's one of those things where like I think that all of the numbers and all the hype and all the eyes are gonna go down. I don't think it'll be as relevant as it is now. Like, will we be getting 300 people on a Wednesday night? Like, no. But at the same time, I think that we've grown enough and we've solidified ourselves enough to where we'll probably still be around after.
Josh. Welcome to Support My Content.
Did he drop the member?
Josh is a member. He's got a little Pokeball and a Snom. He needed a Pokeball to catch the Snom.
That's right. It goes together, man.
Bet.
Shout out to Josh, man. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Josh is literally Josh single-handedly.
Josh, are you playing Luke Metal tonight? Is Josh playing Luke Metal tonight?
Don't even ask that question. I know that Josh is going to hit me.
Josh might be just loving life because Luke Metal is actually good right now for some reason. So
I don't understand why. I think a lot of people are just they haven't necessarily factored Shining Fates in, but we'll see when the Players Cup 3 kind of happens. I mean, I know that you and I have both been talking about it a lot. Players Cup, I think is, I don't know. Players Cup is going to be...
Cup 3? Or what's winning Players Cup 3?
It's going to be Battle Styles content, so we're not sure.
Oh, you're right. It is Battle Styles. Holy cow. It's going to be so strange.
Yeah. So we got Shining Fates format going into Battle Styles. So, I mean, I think the decks that are going to be advancing, I mean, E-Turn seems like a pretty good one. But, like, you think about it, there's only 4 players from North America who are advancing.
Right.
Like, it's so much smaller than you think. Like, that's like if you had the Chill event right now and you took the top 4 people, then put them in a double elimination event with the 4 other, like, you know what I'm saying? With another 12 players. Like,
that's actually a hot idea, bro. Imagine if we did that just from all of the online scenes, all the online tournaments. Our Rick R says Eggroth seems quite simple to play too. I'm just really a new player and I'm kind of building right now. It would be a good standard for a beginner. I think that it's not one of the most difficult decks to play. There's easier decks to play than Rowling.
Yeah, I definitely say there's definitely more easier decks to play. Like, I think Eternatus is a very easy deck to play at face value. I think that ADP Zation is a very easy deck to play at face value. I'd actually rank Rillaboom a little bit more difficult. Like, even when I was playing through my video, there was moments where, like, I feel like I could have played a little bit better. Maybe that's just because I'm not necessarily as equipped to the deck as someone like 76ers, and maybe I just need to run a few more reps and understand, like, individual strategies. But, like, at the end of the day, you're powering up a Rillaboom, and then you're powering up energies and attacking. So if you're playing it to that degree, I mean, I'd say it's a fairly easy deck.
Yeah. We got a couple good ones here. This one quick. Which meta decks do you think are considered the hardest to pilot in Standard? I don't, like, if you're talking about, like, meta decks in Standard, I don't, you'd have to ask Zach. I do know that this new Kyogre deck, if played perfectly, is very, very good. I just think that it's incredibly
big brain Kyogre, splash, splash, splash.
Dude, it's way too, there's way too many cards you have to play in the correct order to, like, always play perfect with that.
And Maddie can never play cards in the correct order. Maddie's just like, I'm gonna throw this game.
I do it all the time, bro.
Maddie's like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I have homework due. I'm gonna throw some games with Kyogre guys. No one wants to play Fortnite with me.
I'd say on ladder just to lose people.
I'd say Pika Ram is arguably the most difficult deck.
Like
no, I don't think Senti's. I don't think Senti's hard to play. I think Senti carries a lot of players.
What about Desi?
Desigoons is definitely up there. But Desigoons, like, I think is falling out of the top 5-ish. So it's one of those things, like, if we're going, like, really meta deck, I'd say Pikarom, Desigoons are probably going to be the really hardest ones. Centiskorch is up there, but at the end of the day, you just need to count, like, Urshifu, both Urshifu would be very difficult decks to play beyond face value.
Yeah, I agree. I think Urshifu, to be a really good, like, with Urshifu, I think you do have to think those, like, turn to a head because the math matters, as well as, like, sequencing properly so you get your damage modifications when you need them. Like, I think that deck's going to really reward high level players.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with it. And I mean, I think other decks, like, I mean, maybe Centiskorch and other decks, like, if you're properly sequencing and stuff like that. So, like, if you're playing the deck on, like, expert mode and really trying to go with a goal, I think the deck
X Games mode.
X Games mode. Oh. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, I don't think too many like decks are a little bit too easy to play nowadays. I think that's really to invite players into the game. Like Pikarom and ADP Zation are both league battle decks that are, like, Pokemon has a rating to show how they are. I think they're like a 2 out of 3 stars. Really for intermediate players who are trying to grow better at the game. But, like, at face value, they're, like, easy to play, very difficult to master.
Brodog says, will we ever be able to buy packs on the app with money? I'm gonna say no, mainly just because things like Pokemon Go, I think you can pay money to get content for the game and unlock stuff, but that's because there's no competitive aspect to it, and I just don't think Pokemon's ever gonna be like a kind of a pay to win system when it comes to.
I think they have one, but I think yes. I think we will see if they update PTCGO.
Really?
So I think if they decide to go, like, let's say a Pokemon's about to drop, like, a bombshell on this, and, like, they don't let us know everything what's going on here, right? Like, Ethan was under an NDA obviously for his being a commentator. I've had moments where I can't say things about Pokemon, especially when it comes to, like, prestigious events and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where I think there's a very good chance that they're actively testing a new PTCGO. And if that never comes to light, then I don't think we're going to see it. In this current version of PTCGO, we used to have a gem system that was only available in Canada, and that's it.
Yeah.
But now we just don't have that. So I mean, I think it's possible in the future. I think it's definitely something if we change over to a new app or an upgraded app and they tried to take Pokemon seriously. Anyways, moving on. Matthew.
Will they ever upgrade the app, though?
I mean, I think it's possible. I honestly think it's possible.
I think they're
like,
gonna
I think they
pop
might
off.
have to update the app, especially if they're gonna add in some kind of drafting or cubing type thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's
They're
no
gonna
way
rehaul
that
it.
they're like that survey might have been, hey guys, we're updating the app in the next year. There's some ideas that we took from players.
Yeah.
Blah blah
Right.
blah blah blah.
See, I think that if anything, they're probably in development now. Like if they were gonna do it, they would have done it because of the stuff that's happened in the past 6 months, right? And if
Yeah.
that's the case, that they're developing a new client for like a PTCGO, we won't see it for another year and a half. And that's, I mean, again, if it will come, it's probably gonna come in that time frame, unless they got an early kickstart on it. But for the most part, I think that it's inevitable. It's been what, like 10 years almost that we've seen this.
Yeah, I
this
mean it's
thing,
been a
so-
pretty it's been 10 years, man. I want to break
Yeah.
up with it. I'm getting a divorce.
Are you
Matt-
though?
No, I'm addicted.
Yeah.
I'm an addict. Yo, is it ever possible to post EU chill tournaments and NA tournaments for the EU? The tournament starts at midnight on a Wednesday, and I have to work in the week.
We could do like multiple a week. Like if we were to ever expand to the point where we're running multiple events a week, we would consider doing like an EU time. The only difficult thing with that personally is that there's other tournaments that really have most of the spots in EU time.
Yeah.
But that being said, we would still be down to do it. The only problem is that it's just me. I'm not trying to like hate on anybody that is in sort of our Chill TCG family and helps us, but 95% of the time it's literally just me doing almost everything. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying like I can't personally run like 2 events, one being an EU time. So if there was ever like an EU TO that really wanted to consistently
To adopt
run
like
events
the
for Chill
chill
series,
brand and become like an admin and actually be serious, like not be like
right,
someone
exactly.
who's like, yeah, I can do it, and then they're just like, I'm at school or I'm at work.
That's actually a busted idea, man. I would love to make my content almost full time, just highlighting the events.
Chill
personally.
Wednesdays, like Chill EU starts at 12 or like 11.
Yeah,
and then the other Chill starts at 6. So you just like, it's a whole day of Chill, all the content. Yo,
Exactly.
Jonathan, thank you so much for that Hippo 1-up sticker.
Yeah, where are my stickers, Jonathan? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Maddie doesn't get
Support
stickers.
Zach. No, support Zach. Definitely support Zach. I don't need the money.
He said, "Yo guys, what funky tech can we introduce to Pikarom to be able to have a chance against wall decks like Altaria and Decigoons?" That's a tough one.
Nothing.
And
nothing yet,
I mean,
man,
I hope that you're not
unfortunately.
giving me $2 sticker.
Well,
because
you know,
think...
Zach, we're seeing a Thunderous soon, which I think does 130 and then like 40 to itself or something like that.
No,
for
but
3.
like
So I guess...
let's say like right now, like let's say if that's for Chill tonight, we're worried about Decigoons. Like we could go on about how something in the future, like I don't even know if you want to talk about Pikarom after Urshifu is released, right?
No.
So
well,
like
rotation's
right now,
happening soon anyway.
I think, yeah, rotation's happening soon. There's only so much that we could deal with. I'd say if you're gonna deal with anyone, I think that there's a Zorora that does a decent bit of damage. There's the Electros that can do a decent bit of damage.
I think Hoopa's always good against Desi.
I don't.
The one that does more damage for the Pokemon with abilities.
I feel like they could play Scoop Up Net and just ruin you. I don't
That
know.
is-
My honest, like at the Players Cup 2, the reason why I had Vikavolt in my deck was not for Blacephalon. It was more for the Decigoons matchup. I thought that I could kind of catch them before they go for the rare candies, maybe hitting them with Vikavolt over and over again, stopping their items. In 2 out of 3, that's not going to work. In best of 1, it might work. So that's something to definitely consider. So I'd say Vikavolt might be okay in best of 1. You're going to try a Rayquaza promo tonight in your list. I mean, that's cool. Maybe more colorless Pokemon are cool.
Yeah, Rayquaza is pretty cool. It doesn't see enough play, but I think it is a very cool card. Chris says when's next rotation? I think it's in August. I don't know if it actually will
Yeah,
be.
the thing is we can only speculate,
worlds.
and I'd say there's a 99% chance. Like they went ahead and were like, okay, cool, like we're gonna switch over to this like this kind of block system. Instead of working with like reprints or sets like that, it just has to have the regulation marker at the bottom. So I assume that anything that does not have the regulation marker is going to get rotated out, so we could switch to this new system. However, they did not plan this during a worldwide pandemic. So maybe they're like, you want to know what? We're going to give everyone an extra few months with their cards because they never got a chance to play these cards all together. Like ADPization will never be a Worlds deck. So it's one of those things where like, I think there's a real possibility that we might see an extended or weird rotation this year. Maybe not. We saw a normal-ish rotation last year, I think. Happens like summertime is probably the best way to go about it.
Yeah. Zach, it's about 4:40 now. We gotta kind of start wrapping.
Yeah,
things up here.
you gotta wrap things up because I need to get coffee. I didn't get even a chance to take a shower before the show. Hey, Josh gave me a bird with a gigantic thumbs up. Caw-caw!
Hey, okay. Check-in is now open for the tournament, so I need to go make an announcement for that. Yeah, I mean, I think we can wrap it up here. This has been
it's been real. I mean, it's crazy. Yellhorn episode 12.
Number 12, man. Again, big shout out to GG Tour. They are our sponsor. They run like the best esports events for a multitude of games. Go check them out. The cash prizing is phenomenal. And they have some events coming up in the future in late March, early April, and things like that. So definitely go check them out. They're PTCGO tournaments for sure. So yeah, that's cool. That's it.
Check it out.
Thanks guys for listening.
And anyone who's sticking around here, I'm gonna be live on my stream in an hour and 20 minutes. So if you want to stick around and hang around for that, feel free to do so. It's gonna start at 6 p.m. Eastern, so in an hour and 20 minutes from now. But I think beyond that, yeah, Maddie and we're busy guys. The fact it's crazy that we went from doing this on a podcast as additional content, and now we're kind of at a point where we're like...
Ivan wants a code before we leave.
Wants a code? I don't have a code to give, unfortunately. Maybe Maddie has a code. I don't know. Maddie...
I don't, unfortunately. I don't know. But
maybe...
I'm sorry, my man.
Send me your video. LMAO. Also,
send me your video. Oh, I gotta send Krollo his video. Yeah, I gotta make that for you, Krollo. I've been busy.
You're still live, so you should probably go off live. Anyways, I'm going off live. It's been real because we can all see your Discord DMs, Maddie.
What's up?
We can see your Discord DMs. Sure. Anyways.
Yeah, no, I'm in my server.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure that you're all good. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate everything. Have a wonderful day, and good luck at Chill. Win that beach, peeps.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
I'll try to get you to it.